Okay, now let's do the next one. Let's try the next question. Now they say that if point R is the midpoint of CB, let's go back to that diagram. So they say that if R is the midpoint of CB, they want us to find the coordinates of what? The coordinates of C. We're going to go back and analyze that diagram. Right. Let me quickly go back. They say R is -1 and -3 and is the midpoint of CB. So this is my CB. Somewhere they said R is what? Minus, or both of them are negative. So it will be somewhere here. So this will be my point R, which is the midpoint. They say it's -1 and -3. Are you still with me on that? So they want us to use this point to find the coordinates of C using the midpoint formula. So now, remember, if R is the midpoint, how do we find the midpoint of a line? Do you still remember the formula? How did we find R? Remember, the coordinates of R is given as what? It's given as -1 and -3. Those are the coordinates of R. How do we find them? We use the midpoint formula where we say x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Then to find the y, we say y1 plus y2 divided by 2. That's the midpoint formula. Do you still remember this formula? Right. From this formula, remember that this formula we were saying the x of C plus the x of B, which will be x plus which will be this x plus that B, which is 4. So I'm going to say in this bracket, we're going to say this is -1 is to -3. It's equal to, in this bracket, we'll have the x plus 4 divided by 2. This side will have what? Let's go and check the y. So for C, it's y, then a -2. So it will be y minus 2. So it's same as y plus -2, which will give us y minus 2 over 2. So now, this is how we got what? The coordinates of C. So if you remember this x, we just have to take the x plus 4 over 2. You equate it to the x of R. That's when you say x plus 4 divided by 2, it should give you the midpoint. The x value, which is, we already have it as -1. And if we take the y minus 2, we divide it by 2, it should give us what? The y coordinates of the midpoint. Then now this side we just have to solve for x. So x plus 4, it's equals to, we cross multiply by 2. This will give us -2. Therefore x is equals to, the 4 will come this side to be negative, which will give us -6 as the value of x. We do the same for y. We cross multiply by 2, so y minus 2 will give us what? This will give us -6. Right, the 2 will come on the other side to be positive. Therefore, the value of y will be -4. So, this tells us that, therefore, the coordinates of C will be, the x is -6 and the y is -4. Which makes sense. Both of them are negative, since it is in quadrant 3. Both of them are negative. So we have C as negative what? C as -6 and -4. Are you happy with that question? Nice. Okay. So now let's attack this one. I think this is the last question. They say that BACK, it's a parallelogram. Hence or otherwise. So they bring that word again. Hence or otherwise means that whatever that we did on the previous, the answer that we got, we should use it to do what? To find the coordinates of K. So we have A, B, C, right? So we're going to add point K to make this diagram to be what? To be a parallelogram. So for this diagram to be a parallelogram, the best way to put, let's check. They say that B, A, C. Let's go to B. We have to start from B, which is this point here. From B, we go to C, then we go to A. So this tells you that the third point should be somewhere here. Let us quickly erase this part. Let's erase this part. So the third point, to make this thing a parallelogram, it should be somewhere here, because now we need to follow the point. They said B, A, B, C, A. Then we should put the K somewhere there, so that this can be what? This can be a parallelogram. Do you understand? Do you know what is a parallelogram? Right. So now they say this is K, and we need to do what? We need to find the coordinates of K. Right. Okay. So if we have something like this, remember that R, we said we talked about R being the midpoint of AC. So if R is the midpoint of AC, what I can say, can we say that, where is R? Okay, I'm not sure the best way to do this one, but I think it's best if we say that if R is the midpoint, R will also be the midpoint of what? The midpoint of I just want to use the diagonals of A. The diagonals bisect each other. I want us to use the diagonals bisect each other. So the best way to do this thing, we can say that this R, you see this R, it's also what? It is also the midpoint of AK. I'm not sure if you'll understand me when I say this R, it's also the midpoint of AK. Okay, this R, it's also the midpoint of AK. Why? Because this is the diagonals of a palm. They bisect each other. So I'm going to say that if this is R, we can use that R to find what? To find the coordinates of K. Right, we can use this coordinate of R to find the coordinates of A. I'm not sure if I'm making sense when I put it like that. Okay, let me quickly